Alright guys, so just want to look here. Bitcoin got a flush. You can see right here this base broke down and we flushed. I alerted earlier that there was large inflows into exchanges are bearish, and yeah, so that kind of played out there. Now what now is the big question. There is something I'm looking at here. It's this kind of bearish flag pattern, right? And this below the neckline, below the, sorry, not below the neckline, below the top pivot here. See this has a chance of being a bearish deviation. Okay, so this is a drop. This is a kind of a bearish sort of pattern that pushes up through the first high. Below this neckline here now, I keep saying neckline, but it's not. It's the first pivot below there. Now this could be a deviation, and we've broke back below. Sometimes these failures can lead to flushes to the downside. This can be bearish now, and we can, you know, that's the concern here. I'm not sure if this is the best example in the world, but you can kind of see there was a retest of the neckline. If you want to put it, you can see here we retested that sort of neckline. You can see here we also kind of retested the neckline here in a way. Now I'm not saying that's the greatest fractal or greatest example, but it's just there on the chart and it's an easy one. We had this sort of base here. There's a bit of a base here. Once it rejected and came back below, it started to flush and flush lower. So technically below this white line here, below this first pivot and below the neckline of here, this is technically now bearish. Now another thing I want to show you, on the weekly chart, we now have, you know, this sort of bearish reversal, bearish weekly stop hunt. Now also you can kind of see that level there, that sort of neckline. We bounced up, retested it, bearish retest of a neckline, and now we're trying to drop again. I do think there should be some sort of bounce from here, but that is it's a bearish retest. There's no question. That is now failing. So we've got to keep a close eye on it. It's the last day of the month. My computer's running slow here. I'm not sure what's going on. So there's an element here that, well, this is the 2-week chart, but this was a retest and a push down. What happens now if the next 2-week candle opens up and does this? Okay, so if I flip that and flip it red, you can see that this could be a bearish retest here that is rejecting and dropping back down. The new candle could actually break down and break below all these moving averages, which would be back into the support level down here at 25,000. Now it's a new month tomorrow, so we do need to focus and start focusing on the new month. This is technically, you know, it's a bearish reversal at this point. You know, the bulls here, you know, not that it matters massively, but the bulls would want to see close above the previous monthly low here. We're kind of teetering on the edge. I would kind of imagine at this point we will close above it, meaning that we can have a small bounce. Like you can see here, we closed below the previous month and it didn't matter, we still went back up. But in theory, technically, closing below the previous month here technically is a bit bearish. But it's not the be all and end all. Okay. Now again, we are red on the month here. As you can see, we're red. Oh, sorry, on the quarter. This is still a bearish candle here. This is a bearish topping candle right here. And normally you can get, potentially at least, you can get more downside. This did come back up and flip green again. If I flip back into the daily chart here, this did come up and flip green, and now we're red again. Technically, that's bearish. I just changed it here to the open right here. I'm not even correct on that. Actually, I need to refine it. Yeah, my computer's going very slow here. I'm not too sure what's going on. Need to look into that. So I think I must have a scan going. We did retest. Look at this. We retested the quarterly open right here and rejected and dropping away. Now We are now red on the week, red on the red on the 3 day here. We're red on the 3 month. There's quite a few warning signs here. And as I mentioned, until we get back above that level, the level is until we are bearish now technically until we get back above this high here, okay, which is the neckline here, right, that coincides with each other, and technically this is a bearish flush. So it is a warning. The market is giving a warning. Some alerts flashing here. INJ oversold, must be a new 10 minute. There can be some bounce off this level most likely. Also, we need to watch the bottom base of this neckline, okay? The bulls really need this to hold. If we flush through this neckline, okay, we're going to flush a lot deeper, right? So this needs to hold here if the bulls have any chance of holding, and then we need to reclaim this. And then obviously we need to reclaim the quarterly open. Now they are very, very difficult tasks to achieve. For now, I don't think they're going to do that this quarter. That means there's another month left. It's unlikely, I would say. It's more likely that we have a red quarterly candle. I would suggest that it's more likely to build a base like this here right now, something like that in here in these moving averages, and more than likely go lower again. If the market is going to do something else, it'll probably give us some clues. Like you can see here, we got really sharp rejection. If we get a really sharp rejection, maybe there can be more upside. Or like here, this is also something to look out for. When you get this bear flag and you come down, but the bear flag does not hold below the lows and you get back up above, you can see then you get the big move higher. So if that came down there and done that, then you might be thinking, oh, I didn't mean to do that. Then you might be thinking it might start reversing to the upside. Okay, but for now, this is likely a bearish sort of pattern to go a bit lower. Last thing I want to point out here, this is a bearish weekly stop hunt. Okay, you can see that when we got a bearish weekly stop hunt right here, there was 1 to 3 weeks to the downside. Okay, the other time we got a bearish stop hunt right here. Well, it's not really the same, but anyway, we got more downside. We got another week to the downside afterwards. Okay, so the trend was bearish intermediate term. You can see we got a bearish stop hunt right here, and then we came down and we had a second week to the downside before getting any significant bounce. We are now having a red bearish weekly stop hunt. Kind of implies you need to be careful. There could be more downside.